Greetings to the Kedron Lions community. How exciting it is that we're finally going to get back to doing what we love, playing netball. If they haven't already, coaches should be in contact very soon to fill you in on getting started. We'd like to take this opportunity to provide a brief summary of some of the changes that will allow us to get back on the courts very soon. We'd like to take you through what the new normal will look like, at least for now. The protocols discussed here will relate to Stage 2 of Netball Queensland's Return to Play plan. We expect to hear very soon about what Stage 3 will entail, so watch this space. For now, our focus is solely on getting back to training. For some of our players, as well as coaches and parents, it will take some time to get back into the swing of things, given that we've been away for so long. So we want to get it right. The first principle is that it will be get in, train and get out. This will be particularly disappointing for players who haven't seen each other for so long. The social aspect of training will unfortunately be put on hold for now. You need to arrive ready to train. Players won't be able to come to the courts and go to the change rooms to get changed, particularly if they're coming from school or another venue, workplace and the like. So you'll need to organise your routine so that players are ready to train as soon as they arrive. There'll be no sharing of personal equipment, for example drink bottles. We do recommend that players maybe bring an extra water bottle, as there will be no refilling available at the courts at the moment. Training will involve non-contact activity. Now you may think that netball's already a non-contact sport, but this will also mean that the normal contact drills won't be available for the moment. Again, watch this space. There'll be no commingling. So teams won't be able to train with each other, and there won't be mixing of players or swapping of players from court to court. We need to maintain each court space and not mingle with each other. Schedules will be arranged to eliminate overlap. There's a minimum 15 minutes between each training session, and the club and the Brisbane Netball Association have been working hard to get those schedules right to allow that to happen. We're going to be looking for a minimum 1.5 metres distance between participants at all time. That 1.5 metres is a distance that we're getting very used to talking about in these last few months. So the training drills will be modified with social distancing in mind. There'll be sanitising requirements in place. We are asking that each of the players bring their own hand sanitizer and towel and whatever else they'll need for personal hygiene. There'll be some sharing of equipment permitted. For example, we'll be using balls together. However, that will be kept to a minimum. We'll be looking to rotate equipment, and there'll be sanitation going on before and after each activity. And players may very well be asked to help out with that task. For the moment, no huddles, handshakes, high fives, that even includes greetings. We've seen some awkward moments with some politicians in recent months. We hope that we can do better than that. There'll be no sharing of clothing or uniforms, and that includes bibs. So there's an extra task for coaches and managers to try and deal with that one. The main aspect that parents will need to get a grasp of is the traffic flow plan that the Brisbane Netball Association has put in place. To understand the plan, you firstly need to know which court you'll be training on and whether that court is in Zone 1 or Zone 2. To enable compliance with the industry COVID safe plan, courts 3, There'll be 3 courts not available for training. On the top courts we will lose Court 1 and Court 4, and in Zone 2 we will lose Court 8, which will be used to allow exit paths for other courts. The underlying principle of the plan is to keep traffic flowing and to avoid mixing and mingling. It is recommended that parents either drop off or wait in their cars. At this stage, there will be no spectators allowed at training. We are aware that this will be difficult, particularly for parents of younger players, but for now, that is how we need to operate. Individual coaches may arrange a meeting point just before training so that the players can walk to their allocated court together. Keep your eye on communications from your coach or manager for this. The suggested drop-off points for Zone 1 are either the top car park, adjacent to Court 2 and 4, or the drop-off zone next to the clubhouse. The main entry point for Zone 1 is on the northwest corner of Court 1, so a drop-off around the corner in Parkdale Street is appropriate depending on the age of your player and what time of day or night it is. We do not recommend stopping and dropping on Roadie Road as it's not very safe. The colours indicate the direction of flow for entry. So you follow the green lines to get to Court 3. If you're coming from the top of the courts and going to Court 6, for example, you would follow this green line, then down between the clubhouse and Court 3, down past there, and then you can enter either Court 5 or 6 through that point there. Exit points are indicated by yellow, and the yellow exit paths are indicated as such as well. Now, if you are dropping off or picking up on a car park that is directly adjacent to the court, then that is suitable. However, if it's not directly adjacent, then you will need to look for the relevant entry point and follow the appropriate travel path. In Zone 2, just above Court 9, we have this parking area. And so for much of Zone 2, that car park or the car park adjacent to Court 9 and 12 would be appropriate for drop-off and also for pick-up at the end. Again, identify the court that you are looking for. Follow the entry point for Zone 2 and follow the appropriate path to get to either Court 7, or if you're on one of the lower courts, crossing Court 8, down around Court 10, or for Court 11 and 14 along this path, and then observe the exit points across the bottom, out the grass area to the car park there. Now the bottom car park on the other side of the trees below Court 13 and 14, if daylight allows, this could be used as well, but still the entry points need to be up here adjacent to Court 9. So players would need to walk all the way around to find their way to there. Likewise, they could exit out here and travel that way if light allowed it. But please be aware that at night time, this area down here is quite dark, and council are actually doing some works on the forest area adjacent to Court 13 and 14, so a lot of that is fenced off at the moment. Maps for individual court flows are also available. Coaches may send out the relevant map to you, or they should become available on the BNA website. So long as everybody plays their little part, we expect things should go very smoothly. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask your coach or your manager. We can't wait for the players to get out there and roar like they've never done before.